Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pit Talk, pulling pits and opinions with your host, Gunny G on the mic. We got a special guest, social media influencer Joey Nguyen. But before we introduce him, before we get there, just remember to follow, like, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. YouTube's a work in progress. It ain't like Joey's over here, but it is a work in progress. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the infamous social media influencer, Joey Nguyen. Ladies and gentlemen, give him one. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and introduce you to a dog and tell us about yourself, a little bit about yourself.
Hey, first of all, thank you for the intro. That was amazing. Um, I'm Joey. I'm currently a sergeant. Just got promoted in the Marine Corps Reserve,
That's it.
and yeah, and I do social media on the civilian side as a reservist.
Okay, okay. Is that your main job as a civilian?
Yeah. So I work as a I guess the official title is COO, so Chief Operating Officer for another YouTuber. He's like one of the biggest finance and entrepreneurship channels on YouTube right now, and
Wow.
so yeah, that's where I got my start in all this social media stuff.
Nice. So you have the know-how and you're basically talented. Nice job, man. And congratulations on the promotion. NCOs lead the way. You know what I'm saying? That's what's
But
up.
yeah, no,
Um,
thank you.
where are you currently stationed at? Right? 'Cause I know you're a reservist, but where are you currently stationed at? And family, friends. How long you been in, things like that.
Yeah, so I'm at Fourth LAR right now. That's in Camp Pendleton. If you guys know LAR, it's a lot of LAVs, but that's not my job. My job is motor T, so I just drive the trucks. You
Dude,
guys see the yeah.
I
So
love Motor T. What are you talking about? I just came from Marine Corps Base Hawaii, right? And now I'm in Washington. But dude, my favorite platoon because I was with a maintenance company, a logistics company. I love Motor T, dog. They're super loyal, super loyal.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry, sorry. I just had to
Motor
tell
T
you. I
knows
just
how to.
had to tell you.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, I do just driving trucks, but then I guess my secondary MOS now at my unit, it's kind of hidden, but because the Marine Corps doesn't really know about it yet, but I guess I am the combat camera around.
Oh,
So anytime anybody needs like videos or photos for like retirements or just whatever, like social media, because the Marine Corps is starting to transition into that now.
yep,
So yeah, exciting times.
absolutely. That's dope. So your collateral duty per se is comstrat.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations. So now you're doing it. Now you're doing it as a civilian, right? You're obviously motor T, but then on the off to the side, while you're in the Marine Corps, you do your little active duty periods. You freaking do combat camera. Hey, dog. Look, I appreciate you coming on this show. It's a funny thing. We named it Pit Talk, right? Because as you know, we're not allowed to have locker room talk. So we do Pit Talk. When you go to the range, you shoot, we smoke and joke as active duty service members, and we smoke and joke, and whatever we talk about down there stays down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the That's the where we get pulling pits and opinions. But thank you for coming on, Joey. I appreciate it. Taking the time out of your busy schedule because I know you're a busy man. Definitely doing somebody else's social media is a big deal, and then doing yours is a big deal. So I appreciate you coming on, taking the time. My first question for you, Joe, is how did you get where you're at now? The ups, the downs, like how did you? Is it just doesn't naturally come to you, or was this like from the bottom? Now I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely like not a talent thing. It's definitely like hard work, repetition, just it took me a little over a year to finally start picking up on social media, which might seem pretty short to some people, but that's just because I've had such a good mentor. You know, the YouTuber that I work with, he taught me everything. And so if you're able to get yourself a mentor like that, who's already established in social media, then that can shortcut your way to success by so
Nice.
much. Um, yeah. But as far as the ups and downs, I would say the downs would definitely be in the beginning, right? When you're just trying to figure yourself out, you're trying to just make as much content as, or hopefully you should be making as many videos as possible so that you can see, okay, what works, what doesn't work, and then just find your own voice and find what makes you unique. Because nowadays, with so much content out there on platforms like TikTok, where it's like, anybody with a phone can make content now. And so
Mm.
you really need to make yourself different somehow. And I was just lucky enough to be able to make myself different by being one of the first people to do. Actually, no, I'm not the first, but I'm the first to do it like raw on TikTok. Because I know that there's another podcast out there that's been doing military interviews, but they do it very, very professional. Like it's kind of like if you've ever seen the channel Soft White Underbelly.
No, I haven't actually. I'm gonna look it up after we're done.
Yeah, yeah, they do a lot of like really professional interviews with like a professional backdrop. It's like documentary style. And
Mm.
my style is not really like that. My style is more like just point and shoot, two guys talking, and so or a guy and a girl talking, and yeah, so it's a lot more raw.
Nice. Okay, so I got to get a new backdrop, is what you're saying. First tool for the toolbox, get a new backdrop. Got it. This is a
No,
work
no,
in progress. It's a work in progress. Okay, I'm still
I
putting
mean
up
it's
the
better than
pictures
mine.
in the back.
Yeah, mine's just blank, So I need to get some pictures and stuff. So you're actually your backdrop is way better than mine because it's actually giving somebody like something to look at in
Yeah,
a video. And so yeah.
nice. Yeah, my behind this, all my pictures are coming up slowly but surely. So once the pictures are up, this will be down. You see all the where I've been at in the Marine Corps, all my certs and all, that boring
Fuck yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Boring stuff.
that's sick. Like I love backgrounds with like pictures of where you've been or like accomplishments and stuff like that. A lot of
Yeah.
veterans that start YouTube channels that are successful, they normally do that with their backdrop. They have like the what is it like that triangle thing where you put it on the shelf and it has like the American flag in the back
Oh
and then
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah, yeah,
runs. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's dope. Okay, you're giving me tools from a toolbox, ladies and gentlemen. First, you got to get a backdrop, and
yeah,
two, it better be dope. Okay, got it. Next, what's next, Joe? What's next? What do I
yeah.
need to know as far as the ups and downs in terms of going catching up to you, right? Because you got a strong influence in Instagram. At least that's where I found you, right? You got a strong influence and strong backing in Instagram. What can I do? What type of mentor, as you said earlier? How do I go and get those? Do I just DM people, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I actually DM'd the YouTuber that I work with now a long time ago back in 20 like 19 or something like that. I think that was when I was still in high school. And I just emailed him like, "Hey, because he posted on Instagram. He was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a script writer at the time for one of his videos." And I was like, "Hey," I was like, 17 years old or whatever. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just sent him a little simple email like, "Hey, I'd like to apply." Obviously, I didn't get a response, but I think like 2 years later or something like that. That was after I graduated from the Marine Corps, came back with a new sense of confidence, a new sense of discipline and hard work ethic that I knew that I had now in my toolbox, these skills that I can, give value to somebody else. And so when he posted again, he was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a personal assistant." So it's a different job and it's like, okay, now's the time for me to, step it up and write him a better email. And so as soon as he posted that, I wrote out like a super long email basically telling him that I would like scrub his toilets if he needed me to. Like no job was beneath me. I just needed to get my foot in the door and provide value however I can. Um, and nowadays it's a little bit different. Nowadays, I would say if you're trying to get a mentor and you're super young, just give them something. Like give them some value. Don't even ask, just give it to them without asking for anything in return. And just keep doing that until they start to like notice you. And if they don't notice you, like you can always just ask for like feedback or whatever. Even if they don't like whatever you sent them, maybe you send them like a thumbnail or a script, or maybe you edit like a YouTube video for them. Just send them something, give them value, and then they'll be able to either give you feedback because they know how how dedicated you are, because obviously you're not going to just do this once. Like if you get ignored, just keep trying, with different
Yeah.
YouTube too. But yeah, I was just lucky enough to be able to really get email in, and he saw that it was different from all the other emails because I put a lot of time into it. I was like, hey, I'm gonna give you 110%. And so from there, he emailed me back. He was like, hey, we can hop on like a quick call. And then from there, we set up like a trial period. It was like a month where it was like, hey, do some work. Let me see how you work and stuff like that. So right out of the bat, I quit my job. And I
Oh.
and so I was working as a server at the time at Olive Garden, and I was making I was making like 14 an hour, but then plus tips, probably like 24 to 2800 per month. And so, pretty basic minimum job. And then I quit that, and I had maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months worth of savings. So I was like, okay, you know what? I don't care. I'm just gonna put myself against the wall. Either I make it or I'm gonna have to find another job. And so that was kind of like my first experience of taking a huge risk like that. And I actually recommend that for any Marine out there who's young, and you want to really push yourself. You really kind of have to back yourself into a corner and give yourself no option. Like either you do or die. You succeed or you have to go homeless or whatever. Whatever it
Yeah.
is, push into a corner. And I think that's what really pushed me for that month, that trial period. I was working like so much, like by the end of that year, it was in December. Um, I was just a zombie. Like I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I didn't work out. All that stuff was out of the window, but I just focused on this trial period. And so I was like, hey, I'm gonna fucking make it. And so I ended up making it. And so now, almost 2 years now, working for Charlie Chang is his name. If you guys want to search him up, he's a great YouTuber. Lots of good advice on his channel, and and yeah, so that's how I
Oh,
got started.
yeah.
with that.
Dude, that's awesome. You backed yourself into the corner, adversity. One, two, you took it to heart, adapt and overcome what Marines do on a day to day. Right, we work in the gray. We work in the gray. We know our left and right, but we work in the gray. And you adapted. You put yourself in the corner, and then you overcame. That's tells you a lot about you, as in terms of a young man. Because how old are you?
I'm 21.
21, ladies and gentlemen, 21, working on his own. I mean, he has a boss, but he's just, in layman's terms, he's his own boss, working for somebody else, right? So, dude, that's awesome. That's like, I don't know if I could do that at this point. Right? I have a wife, 3 kids, and one more on the way. I don't know if I could take that risk. I do have a savings, but not enough to do what you did. Not yet, anyways, right? But that's awesome. That's a good story, man. So now that you've been doing it for 2 years, and you're just saying just go for it, put in time. You said you didn't sleep, didn't eat, so that's a lot of consistency, right? It was you had to be or you didn't make it. True.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like a tough time. Like all the Marines in my unit, they were like, "Damn, you lost a lot of weight. Damn, you're skinny. Damn." It's like all this stuff, but it's like I knew that I was working towards like a goal of mine, and I just needed to pass. And so, yeah, you just have to figure out like a really big goal for yourself. I think a lot of Marines don't aim as high as they should. I mean, even me today, like I shoot myself down like a lot. Like entrepreneurs that they're always saying like you got to aim way higher than what you
Yeah.
actually think. You got to
Interesting.
think big.
Yeah, think big. Aim. Well, for ranges is aim small, miss small, but that's
Yeah.
that's the complete opposite of what you're telling me. How did you get to where you're at on your Instagram? What made you think of interviewing crayon eaters?
So on Charlie's channel, we actually started doing interviews last year, or the like 1.5 years ago, and we saw that it was a format on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all these platforms. It was a format like a type of video that would do well, if you do it right. So there were people interviewing for like finance, like if you've ever seen Money Transparency Street or something like that, Salary
It sounds
Transparency Street.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this female. She's asking people. She's like, "How much do you make?" or "Well, what do you do?" And so that always goes viral. There's people that are just asking random questions like, "How much would I have to pay for you to do this or whatever?" So it's like a dare kind of video, but it's still interview
Yeah.
style. And so it's just you just go out into the street and you interview random people, and it's so easy because you don't have to do anything. You let the people do it for you. Like
Yeah.
the people are the content. And so that's why like podcasts, same thing, like you're letting the other person do the talking. And so with that type of content, you can repurpose. So one entire interview video with like 10 different people, you can cut all those questions up into like 5, 10, 15-second clips and then upload them onto Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And then that is like those videos have a higher chance of going viral because people are just, scrolling with the thumb. YouTube, it's like you have to know exactly what you're looking for, and it's like there's a lot more that goes into like title, thumbnail, the idea of the video, script writing, voiceovers, possibly. A lot more that goes into a YouTube video than a TikTok. TikTok's it's like 10 seconds, you know?
Interesting. So you're saying YouTube for that sit down, watch the video, you're there for like 15 minutes trying to learn something, right?
Yeah.
TikTok, maybe Instagram, I mean even Facebook right at this point. Uh there you're saying what's 15 seconds is a good time, or a minute and 30, 2 minutes? What is it? What's a good time for me to post a nice little video that I can just, okay, look at this. Okay, next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For that, I would say so on social media it's interesting because there's rules and then there's also the rule that you shouldn't follow the rules. So it's
Right.
like for every
Right.
audience, it's different. So you have to experiment, you have to know what your audience likes and what your audience likes in terms of length of a video and also like all the other stuff. So I would say don't like put yourself into a box of, hey, I can only do 10-second videos because now it's starting to change. Like on TikTok, you're seeing longer videos, Instagram, you're seeing longer videos, and YouTube, you're seeing longer videos. But I would
Yeah.
say a year ago, everybody was making super short videos, almost like Vine, just because it's so easy for them to just rewatch and rewatch, and it'll just automatically keep playing back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say definitely experiment with it. It's definitely harder to make a longer TikTok, but it's worth it because if you can have somebody's attention for that entire minute, then you're golden. You're gonna make more, you're gonna earn more trust, and you're gonna increase your, views because it's gonna push out the video more. You're gonna increase your subscribers or followers because they're more likely to follow you the more that they see of you, and that's just like basic branding. But yeah, it's difficult. So I would say for beginners, try doing shorter videos first. That'll just
Okay.
go viral, just catch their attention and then keep their attention for like 5 seconds. And then as you get better and better, you can make some of the longer form videos.
Hmm.
I'm just
Okay.
now
So
starting to make longer videos.
I know because usually it's about maybe two, maybe not even 2 minutes, but it's a short. The reason why I subscribed or I followed you is because it's a nice little one question answer interview, one question interview, and then he answered with his basic answer, whoever it was that was answering. So it was definitely, it caught my attention because it's not too long because I don't have time to sit there, right? Because we have obligations
Yeah.
as individuals, we have obligations. So I have 30 seconds. Oh, let me swipe. Let me see what Joe posted. Um, did you initially off the rip choose to interview Marines, or was it just an idea that came up and like, you know what, I'm just gonna do Marines because I'm a Marine?
Definitely the latter. So this all started in 29 Palms when I was at ITX.
Okay.
And I was just like, hey, let me just interview. So I had my friend, he had an iPhone, so I was like, hey, can you help me film it? So he just held the camera there, and then I used my phone as the microphone, and I was just like, hey, blah blah blah, and just asking him questions, just coming up with a list. And so it started off like that, and I was like, I definitely do want to branch out to other branches. Like I've done a few videos with some Navy guys. Haven't done any with Coast Guard. I don't think I've done any with the Army. Um, which branch am I missing? Air Force. I haven't done any
Air
with Air
Force.
Force either. So,
They're
but
not
yeah,
anything special.
I
Don't worry
think
about it.
sure I do want to.
Sweet, sweet. Oh, okay, okay. So first, make them short. If you're starting off, ladies and gentlemen, you already heard it from Joey. Start off short, get their attention, and as you get their attention, start increasing the time. Increasing the time as you get the following. That's good. First, backdrop. Two, short videos. YouTube's for sitting down and learning. The other social media platforms are for quick scrolls. I like that. Okay. All right. So equipment. Let's talk about equipment here. As I watch your videos, it seems like you. I mean, that's my impression. Again, I'm old. You're young. You know what you need. Um, I'm assuming you got like a tripod, two cameras, this, that, and the other, wires going everywhere. That's what I'm assuming. Can you fill me in on the basic requirements that I would need as an up and coming social media set podcaster or whatever you want to call me?
Yeah, yeah. So it's I have a pretty basic setup. It's very budget friendly, I guess, in terms of professional gear. So I just have you don't even need a shotgun mic, but I do have a shotgun mic. I could show you. Yeah. So I have it right here in front of me. So this is the camera.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a Canon M50, and this one is super beginner friendly. You can even start with I think there's a starter lens for like 15 to 45 millimeter, which is like the zoom, so you can zoom in
Yeah,
and out. This one is just a fixed lens. And that kind of stuff you could just Google and you could just be like, hey, what does this lens look like on camera? What does this lens look like? Just find whatever you think looks good. You could learn all this stuff online. And then a shotgun mic, not necessary. You could just use the camera mic to like listen to the audio and then use the phone and then sync it up in the post edit. And then tripod. That's it.
that's all you got.
Yeah, no wires.
No wires.
Yeah, no
That's what's
wires.
up. I have a wire here. I have a wire here. But again, I'm doing something different than you are. You're
Yeah.
actually going in raw footage. Hey, let's have an interview. I'm sitting here scheduling, getting an appropriate time around your schedule, my schedule, and we're trying to sync up. But to each their own, I guess. I like the reason why I like a podcast is I don't know. People say I like to talk. I don't know about what, but I run my mouth, so it's good that you're on listening to me. I'm listening to you. I'm getting these toolbox. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you saw that the Canon, the tripod, the shotgun mic, and a phone, and that's all you need to make it on social media. Look at that. That's
You don't
amazing.
even need a camera. You could literally just have your friend just hold up their phone too, because that's how I started. Just somebody else
Ah,
just record, and then they'll just airdrop you the video, and
yeah.
then you just use your phone as a microphone. So
So you just use the little voice recorder on your iPhone, or
yeah, yeah, I think it's the Voice Memos app.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's been around
Thanks.
since.
Yeah, super in effect, super budget friendly, dude. I'm about to start doing raw footage like you. Holy
Yeah,
mackerel, that's easy
should do.
day.
Definitely do it. But
I
yeah, if you're looking for like professional equipment, then that's gonna run you like I mean, just the camera by itself, if you're looking for like a high
Dude,
grade professional camera, it'll be the Sony A7S III. That's the one that everybody has, and that one's gonna run you like $3,500 just for the camera by itself. That doesn't
yeah.
include the lens, the microphone, everything like that. But yeah,
Uh,
that's what your goal should be. Yeah.
I think I'm good with what I got. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what I do is I take this equipment, pack it, take the camera, pack it, and we just go wherever the interview is gonna be at, and we just hit it and quit it right there. I only started doing video recently because I PCS, right? I moved to a different duty station,
Mm.
and the people that I was interviewing, they're not local no more. And Washington's so far away from anything, so far away from the flagpole that this is probably the best way that I can do it. To interview someone like you, right? I can't drive 18 hours to go to California to come see you, even though it would be dope road trip. Don't get me wrong, but this is probably the best way that I can assume that I can figure out how to make the shorts. How do I get these people on? This is the best way for me. So right now, working for me, right? Unless I start getting people to come in and being interviewed. Like, have you seen Urban Valor?
Yeah.
Urban Valor TV? Yeah, that's a type of. I like that. I got to look at the one you told me earlier. But the stuff that you showed me right now, man, is budget friendly. I like being on a budget, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Uh,
mean, in the future, like, if military members get to a point where they want to start like a business in social media, then that's where you can start writing things off. And so all of this equipment that I talked about, you can write it off under your business, and then you'll
mhm.
get like a pretty good discount, depending on how much money you per year.
Yeah.
But
So
that yeah, that's totally different.
that's a longer talk, right? That's something that you do
Yeah.
now, um, on social media. So now that you have a backing following, and you did this interview style type for Marines, uh, it's pretty popular. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see that you got over 1,000 likes on one video, over 1,000 here, a couple hundred there. I'm like, I'm just trying to get 50. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get 50, right? The big number. I mean, I see at the bottom how many views there are, but that doesn't necessarily correlate to let me like this. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Was that for you? Was it like that for you at the beginning? A lot of views, but not a lot of likes.
At the in the beginning, so in the beginning, I wasn't posting interviews. I was posting running vlogs. So I ran 1 mile for 365 days straight, and I just documented it. And so my videos got like on TikTok, it did really bad, like 100 views, 200 views, like one like or something like that. And then on Instagram, that's where it would get like maybe 5K, 10K views, but then maybe one or two videos would have a lot of engagement, like people supporting me and be like, "Hey, keep going, keep running, good job," or whatever. And then YouTube Shorts was like pretty much the same as TikTok, like a little bit of views. But yeah, it's definitely harder in the beginning to hit like high numbers because you don't know like what makes a good video and what makes a bad video. And so
Yeah,
you just got to keep on experimenting and keep on pivoting. Because if I kept on making running videos, yeah, like I could just keep on getting better at making running videos, or I could just pivot completely and make a different type of content. It doesn't matter. You have such a small following anyways. Why not just pivot, do something else, see if it works? And so it was like literally the same TikTok channel, same Instagram account. I just stopped making running content, started doing military interviews. So if you guys are struggling with like, if anybody out there is struggling with, building up like a viral video or whatever, just keep on experimenting and keep on pivoting because you just keep on pivoting and making extreme changes to your content. One of them is going to pop off. And once it
yeah.
pops off, you ride the wave.
Interesting. Ride the wave. I like that. I like that. So, how long do you think somebody like me or somebody that's trying to be like, at least in terms of social media and the influence like you do, um, how long would you say to keep it on type of a certain type of style? Like, for example, me. Let's use that style, the running vlog. How long did it take you before you pivoted and say, "Hey, this is the time to move on"?
I did that for about a year. So, and that's why it took me a year to finally take off. And so I
Right.
was I was stubborn, I was like, you know what, this is my type of content. I'm gonna make this type of content. But then you really have to study the platforms out there. You have to study TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, and you have to see what kind of content's working. And so, I saw that interview content was working, and so I was pivoting. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna do interview content as well, but I'm gonna make it unique to me. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
it interviewing Marines because not a lot of people do that. And so you just have to experiment because you don't know if there's demand unless you try it. Unless you put the
Yeah.
supply out into the market, you don't know if the demand's going to be high or low. You just got to keep experimenting. And so once you hit that market where it's like, hey, demand is high, but supply is low, and you barely just entered in the market, that's where you could just fill it up with all your supply. And so,
Interesting.
yeah, you just have to find that opportunity and
That's
really
dope.
take advantage of it.
Okay, I like that. Oh my goodness, I'm writing. I am virtually taking notes because I can record this and keep this in my archive. So this is good for me.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies
Yeah,
and
and it
gentlemen,
gets
if you're, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. So
Ladies and
sorry.
gentlemen, this is no, you're good. No, you're good. Hey, this is your show. I'm just riding the wave, homie. I'm just riding the wave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, tool for your toolbox, ladies and gentlemen. Freaking god darn it! If you weren't paying attention thus far, not my problem, your problem. But if you are, check them out. Join the win. My next question, dog. Next question, and this is again. I don't like to talk about certain things, but I have to ask because you got a platform. You have to. You have backing. You have following. Are you I know you have a job in social media. You're doing that for your the YouTube content that you make. Are you with this Join Win interview style, marine style platform? Are you now making money off of it, or are you still working on that piece?
Working on the piece. Oh no, yeah, I definitely am making money. But it does.
Off your
Yeah, yeah. But I do have a team, and so most of that money goes back to my team.
okay, nice. And how long did it take you? I know the year you said I'm making running content, and after the year, how long after you pivoted did you start seeing results?
Start seeing results in money or views.
But first views, right? Because views have to come first, and then in turn financial stability off the Instagram.
So my views pretty much picked up like instantly when I pivoted, because my very first interview video got like I think 20K or 30K views on
Ooh.
TikTok. And so that was my first video that, hit past that 10K barrier. Because before that, it was always like, 1K at the most views. And so once it hit that 20K or whatever, I was like, okay, this is something that has potential. And so I just started pumping out. I mean, I literally haven't stopped posting consistently, one per day, since then. I think it was September 10th or something like that.
Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
that's
So
wild. So you've been posting consistently every day one video?
yeah, at least one video. I think I missed one day, but then the next morning I posted two. So it kind of made up for
Interesting.
it. Yeah.
So
And
post once.
my approach with being consistent on posting was the same approach that I took to being consistent with my running journey. So I ran 1 mile every single day for 365 days, and it proved to me that like, hey, you can be consistent at whatever you want to be
Yeah.
consistent. You just have to, really make no excuses. Like I was running sometimes at like 12 a.m. Um, and it was just
Ugh.
like after a long work day, I had so much stuff,
Yeah.
but I still had to get that 1 mile in. It doesn't matter how slow I run it, right? I could run it at like 15-mile pace or whatever, but I just have to get that mile in. And so it's the same
Yeah.
approach
Yeah.
with videos. You have to say, okay, the day does not end until I post my video. And the day, it doesn't matter if it's 12 a.m. on the dot, I'm gonna post my video. If not, I'm gonna post another one tomorrow, like twice.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, another tool for your toolbox: post consistently at least one video a day. That dope. I got it. Right now I've been posting 2 videos a day, but I'm gonna cut back and do the one, at least the minimum one, because it does take time. I ain't gonna lie to you. Especially if you're not outsourcing it. I had to learn how to do this. I had to learn how to do this. What you're doing, dude. I mean, it's better for me. I like that I know now. I know how to do it because
Mhm.
now I'm saving myself uh, first money, right? Because I'm not going to give everybody money to outsource my stuff. And now, again, I might not make the best videos or the best sessions, but I'm working myself in. And like you said, it's all about consistency. The more you're consistent at it, the better outcome you'll get, right? Because even with your running videos, you still had somewhat of a following, yes or no?
No, no. Yeah.
I had to hit it. I had to hit it. That was bad. Okay, okay. So then you had to pivot super hard, huh?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, that's crazy. Okay. Well, tell me now, right? Views, and then what? At what point do you know that you're making now you can make
Oh,
money. What did they reach out to you? Did you apply for it? How did that work?
so on YouTube, the way that you make money is through AdSense. That's one of the ways. There's plenty of other ways too, but that's like the main one that a lot of YouTubers strive for is getting that. I think they lowered the limit. It used to be like 4,000 watch hours, and now it's like 3,000. So if you get 3,000 watch hours, I think it's like 500 subscribers. You have to meet the requirements, and then once you meet them, you can join the partner program. And so that's when you can start earning money off of your videos through like ads that play on
Hmm.
your video. And so that's one of the ways. TikTok also has a creativity program beta. Instagram had Instagram bonuses, but I never got into that and they canceled it now. So, um, yeah, those are the main ways that you can make
So you
money.
so you're not making nothing on Instagram?
No,
Huh.
no,
Interesting. So
yeah.
they don't offer anything is what you're saying.
Yeah, they used to for like select creators, but when I first started making this kind of content and like blowing up, they never reached out. I guess because it was towards the tail end, so they were like
Yeah.
just getting rid of it, and so all the creators that were already in it, like they were able to get in, but I wasn't able to get in. So it's like timing.
Do do you have a check mark?
No,
You don't have a check mark. Okay. Does that
no,
mean you're like a big deal on Instagram then or what?
I don't think it's necessary because I mean you could pay for it now. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, it's I never really cared about like the check mark or whatever. I guess the only reason why I would care is that like people are just now starting to make fake accounts, and so I don't want
Oh.
anybody to get scammed, right? And so that's where the check mark is actually useful. But I don't really care about like having a blue check mark that much. No.
Are you anywhere outside of Instagram and are you on Facebook?
Yeah, yeah. I just started doing Facebook more seriously, because they also have a program as well where if you post, I think it's videos that are longer than a minute. It's the same as TikTok. You can earn money off of that through ads, and so yeah, just now starting to explore into that.
Okay. So you're going to hit Facebook pretty hard, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. But Facebook is a different audience. It's a different audience for every single platform. You know, like TikTok is a lot younger.
Hmm.
Facebook is probably a lot older. So.
Hey, easy. Don't speak to me that way.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
speak
just
to me
like I
that
don't
way.
really use Facebook that much. So
Well, I mean, it was pretty big for a while, and now IG came out, TikTok came out, whatever. Hey, I'm not that old. Me and my wife still use Facebook. All right.
I
Jesus,
mean, hey,
Mary,
I'm
and
starting to get
Joseph.
back into it. So maybe.
Hey, if it works for you, let me know. I'm freaking gonna hit it hard too, because I know that well, this whole game is hard to be honest, but I appreciate that. Another question for you. Do you plan on making this social media platforms your main source of income?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Mo-
definitely gonna become my main source of income within the next like 5 years. Um, because there's so much money to be made on this like social media industry. It's, growing crazy with all these new apps that are coming out, threads that just came out. There's brands that are paying tons of money for like sponsorships. There's like affiliate marketing where you can make a
Yep.
buttload of money passively. So there's just so much opportunity in this market.
Yeah. What you said threads? What the hell? What's with threads?
Yeah, it's Instagram's new kind of like Twitter platform.
Oh, is that right?
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. I'm about to look that up when I'm done here. Threads, because I know I got Twitter, and Twitter is a hard game in itself too. I'm like, holy mackerel. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not posting like consistently.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a great platform though, for sure.
Do you ever consider posting anything controversial?
Oh, I've posted things that are controversial before.
Really? I'm about to scroll down. I usually just see pretty motivating videos. That's all I see.
Yeah. I guess some of those kind of slip by because I post one every day, but yeah, I have before, and that's
Uh
kind of
huh.
like, you kind of have to walk the line sort of as a social media person because it's like on one side it's like you can post safe stuff, but then it's sometimes the controversial stuff that's gonna get you way more views.
Interesting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Joey said another tool for your toolbox. Post every once in a while. Toe the line of controversial topics.
I
Interesting.
mean,
What
or
was
you
one
could,
of the most?
yeah, or you could just do all controversial, like Jake Paul, super
Yeah.
controversial all the time.
Yeah.
Um, these guys are marketing geniuses, like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Conor McGregor. These guys are like really loud on social media, even if it's kind of like bad, like they seem cocky or they're always like shit talking. But it's like it works, like they brought a lot of attention to boxing, UFC, MMA. And so it's like if you want to bring attention to something, then you kind of do have to like be a little loud sometimes. I don't
Interesting.
know. It's different opinions on this topic, but I think it's fine to be a little controversial.
Absolutely, because I just had the bear. I don't know if you know who the Barracks Barber is,
Oh
but
yeah.
I just had him on this week, so this past week, and he one of the tips he gave me is you just gotta be. You have to. Sometimes you just have to be, right?
Mhm.
For his example was, I dogged on long hair and I said it sucked, right? And then he blew up with that video because all he does is short hairstyles like ours. Not mine, but short hairstyles like high and tights, right? And
Mhm.
so people were just smack talking him back. So that's what boosted up his views, boosted up his likes, boosted up his content. And so, what was the most recent controversial video that you got? I'm about to look it up because I want to see how bad it is.
Well, my most like viral video ever is one about beards in the military. So, that's a pretty
Oh,
on one side you have like, oh, you can't have beards. It's like another side is like, oh, I want beards. So it's, a little bit con
what was the fill me in because I'm about to scroll around look it up, but
This is
fill me in on the beard no beard.
Yeah, yeah, it was a Sergeant Johnson, shout out. He's super cool. He had a full-on beard, because he has pseudo folliculitis, I think is what it's
Yeah.
called.
Mhm.
And that's a medical issue, and so with that you get a no shave chit is what it's called, and then you get to basically have a beard in the military. And so people that had that medical issue, they were commenting like, hey, like I have that issue and I barely just found out about it. I guess it's like when they shave, it's like curly
Yeah, they got
hairs.
coarse. The hair is coarse, so it doesn't grow out; it grows in, and
Yeah,
that
it grows.
happens because yeah, because my buddy
Yeah.
has that, and he's had a beard too. But I mean, that's different. That's a medical exemption. That's a medical thing. It's not really like, hey, let me have a beard because I want to have a beard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But
So
it
I
was
don't
just
know.
because it's like you don't really see that
Yeah,
in
yeah, you're right. It is less common in the majority of the folks that are in the military. But do you know what's controversial though? I'll tell you what. You know the Sikh religion, right?
secret. I think so, like a little
So
bit. Bare.
I think it's like Hinduism or Muslim. I think it's Hinduism, but I think again I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but that's
Uh-huh.
recently been something that happened this past year where the Supreme Court said you can wear a beard because that's your religion, and
Really?
that was a big deal, right? Because you have an officer now that has a religious exemption, which is fine. It's fine, right? But he
Well,
had
everybody's gonna just immediately just, yo, on my religion.
um,
See,
So I'm
I'm listening.
telling you, there's crazy stuff out there because right now the Air Force, the Army, and the Navy do it. The Marine Corps is the only one who doesn't do it,
Oh,
right?
you can't do
And
that in Marine.
well, you can, right? But you have to prove it. And how do you prove it? Well, I don't know. I don't know how to prove that. But Marine Corps is always the last to implement policy, right? Because they want to see how it works on the other branches. So they're always the last of the Mohicans, and they implement it, but they really don't, right? Or they do. We just don't know the caveats to the order, right? Um, but yeah, that's a big deal that happened this past year. Nobody knows about it, right? Because it's not a big deal to everybody else, but to the military, it's a big deal because now the Supreme Court said you're allowed to have beards because of your religion. You don't have to shave in boot camp, so you go with a beard to boot camp, right?
Damn.
And that was a thing for Marines was like you're all the same. We're all bald, no hair,
Right.
nothing. We wear green on green. We wear the same running shoes, same socks, everything the same because we're one team, one fight. Right?
Mm.
Now you're not. And that was the argument. Well, now you're not. You're never gonna know what self-sacrifice is if you have this going on, this going on, this going on, and just a bunch of stuff that has to do with the religion. And not, mind you, I'm not dogging the religion. You could practice whatever you want to practice, but that was some of the argument that was out there. It's like, now you're not part of the team. What makes you so special, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely
That
two sides in the comments.
you know what I mean? That was something that I saw this past year. But anyways, I'm about to look at your no beard video anyways. But Joey, I appreciate you taking the time, man. I know you're a busy man. I know you got content to make. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on Pit Talk, pulling pits and opinions with me. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's been a blast. I appreciate it. It's been an honor, a pleasure to have you on, man. Informally, I know you know I'm a E7 gunner. I get it. You're a sergeant. I get it. But informally, man, Pete, Joey, I appreciate it, man, for coming on. And I hope to have you again on. If you want to come on, feel free. But like DM me, like, hey, dog, Guns, I need to get back on to talk about this topic. Oh shoot, let me get you on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I'm
I'm
always,
free game.
yeah.
Absolutely, dog. Ladies and
YouTube,
gentlemen,
media and all that, I'm always down to talk about it. It's definitely a boring subject for a lot of military members out there, but yeah, for those that are interested, I'm always down to talk about it.
absolutely, man. Thanks again. I appreciate you taking the time. Give them one. Oh wait, that's not it. My bad. Anyway, sorry, I was just joking around. Appreciate it, Joey. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Pit Talk, pulling pits and the pins with your host Gunny G. We out.
Peace.